It is great to have Mike Dicorsi from the Sporting News with us, as we always love to chat about things all around sports, usually college hoops, usually some soccer, whatever. But Mike had an absolutely phenomenal column the other day about this entire Caitlin Clark situation going on right now as she navigates through, I guess you could say, Mike, her rookie season in the WNBA. Good to see you as always, Mike. How are you?
I think her rookie season is already over, Mike, because the WNBA scheduled the entire thing in the first 3 weeks of the season. She's done, right?
Let's start. Let me start there, and there's a couple things obviously to discuss here because I read that in the comp. I didn't realize. Now I knew they played a lot of games, and they've played. I guess it's 11 over the first few. I didn't realize that like Vegas had played like 7. Other teams have played like 8. Like I didn't realize that the gap was that wide, and it's specifically for what you said. They tried to, right out of the gate, hammer home as many Caitlin Clark games as they possibly could to catch the wave. And boy, Mike, if they caught it.
Well, they allowed the wave to subsume her. She fell off the board and went head over heels into the surf. And it shouldn't have been that way. She should have been allowed to move into her rookie year with the same pace as every other rookie in the league. 75% of the league has played 8 or fewer games. They've already played 11. This is as of Sunday. They had already 11 games in the first 20 days of the season, and that included a road trip that went to Seattle from Indianapolis, then to LA, and then to Vegas, a 4,500-mile road trip that was 3 games in 4 days. How do you like that? That's great stuff. That's really treating your prize rookie, the player who electrified college basketball over the last 2 years, that completely changed the dynamics of the viewing patterns for women's college basketball and promised to do the same for you based on on ticket sales for the first several weeks of the season, promised to do the same for you. And all you could do was grab everything you could. Not let's do this strategically, but let's grab as much as we can early, and who the heck cares if it wrecks her rookie season.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that are kind of, I guess you could say, wrecking her rookie season at this point, Mike. Let me get your thoughts on Saturday, the incident with Carter and Angel Reese. I guess we could say Angel Reese was kind of a part of it with her jumping off the bench and cheering, and her press conference yesterday, and Carter hip-checking Clark. Your thoughts on that whole incident from Saturday against Chicago?
Well, first of all, I obviously Kennedy Carter was out of line, but it's not some of the things we've seen, some of the reactions that we've seen to that play have been absolutely hysterical, including the editorial in the Chicago Tribune. I mean, that was ridiculous to say that would have been beyond objectionable on the street as opposed to on a playing surface. It was a problem. It shouldn't have happened. It certainly was at least a flagrant 1 foul. And the real problem with that, again, begins with the league, which is its game officials. If they've missed it, Mike, I could live with that. You miss things, especially it was transacted in a period where there wasn't any real basketball activity going on. So it would be understandable if they were looking elsewhere. But they saw it enough to call a foul, and they didn't call it a flagrant foul. How is it not a flagrant foul? It has nothing to do with the game. It had nothing to do with the ball or the pursuit of the ball or any of that. So it's definitely a flagrant foul, A, and they saw enough of it to call it a foul, and then they didn't review it to assure that it wasn't a flagrant foul, which of course it was. The only good thing that came out of that was that it didn't affect the outcome of the game, as we saw in the Boston Pacers series a week and a half ago or so, when Jaylen Brown clearly committed a flagrant foul against T.J. McConnell, and the officials didn't call it a flagrant live, and then checked and didn't call it. That was bad, and it did affect the outcome of the game. At least this didn't. But it starts with the league. It goes to the game officials. I do have a problem with how Caitlin Clark is being treated by fellow players, but it's not all physical. Some of it's verbal as well. This idea that they have to chop her down. Look, you can do whatever you want to do. It's your league. But if you want your league to grow, and you know what happens when the league grows, Mike? the money grows. If you want to make more money, then you embrace her entry into the league. And I'm not saying you let her here take an open shot, Caitlin. It's not about that. But you don't have to cheap shot her and take pot shots at her verbally as well.
That's the part to me, Mike, that I can't grasp. And listen, I'm not going to sit here and try to tell anybody that I've been watching a ton of WNBA games over the last 20 years since the league's been born. I have not. I have not. Have I watched a few in the last month since Caitlin Clark started playing in it? Yeah, I have. And I think there's probably a lot of people like me, Mike, that are in that situation. And let me say that. Here's what I can't figure out the most. Why is everyone in that league, not everyone, why are a lot of players in that league at the root of it, Mike, so upset that this girl is bringing notoriety, money? I mean, it's not just her that got them the charter flights. They should have had that probably a long time ago, but I'm sure it helped that she was coming into the league. But there is so much to gain, Mike, and it seems like they're not, a lot of girls aren't happy about it. That doesn't make any sense to me.
It's the same thing that I wrote about back in February. We were seeing reflected in the college game when she was elevating the audience for the college game. And let's not forget here, a couple of years ago, before Caitlin Clark made the Final Four, they were happy if they got a 5 million audience for the championship game of the women's Final Four. They were happy. 5 million. Okay, that's a good number. That's what they were looking for. When Caitlin Clark played in it last year against Angel Reese and LSU, they got 10 million. And when they play, and she played in it this year against Camila Cardoso and South Carolina, they got 18 million. That's 3 times the audience. If that's what's out there, look, you don't try to get mad because, oh, why weren't you watching us all along? Hey, the audience wasn't. You can't explain a phenomenon, Mike. Why were the NBA finals of the 1970s on tape delay? They just were. The audience wasn't there. Magic and Bird come along. All of a sudden, it's magical and everybody's watching. It's just sometimes that's how it works. Joe Namath comes along in 1969, and the NFL goes from a very watchable league, a lot of fans, to the most powerful sports entity in the world. All of that happens because a certain player at a certain moment draws people in, and enough of those people stick around that everybody's boat is elevated. Right now for the WNBA, that person is Caitlin Clark. Don't try to explain why everybody wants to watch her play. I put in my column today, look, Sarah McLachlan is a magnificent musician. She's a musical genius. I've seen her in concert. She's fabulous. I've had her records. She's tremendous. Taylor Swift is a musical genius. She's fabulous. But when Caitlin Clark, when Sarah McLachlan goes on the road, she's playing 5,000-seat arenas and packing them. When Taylor Swift comes to town, she's back-to-back on stadium nights selling 80,000 tickets. It's just how it is. So you embrace it, and then everybody gets wealthier as a result. That's not happening in the WNBA. No one at any level in that league is embracing what she can do for them.
You're right about that. And they are everywhere now.
I mean there are people at every level of the league. I don't mean that no one is, but every level of the league has people that aren't.